You've done the affirmations, visualized, created vision boards, practiced gratitude. Maybe you've gone deeper, read Neville Goddard, practiced living in the end, or explored the strange paradox of his not technique. Perhaps you've studied reality transurfing and tried to lower the importance of your desires, just as Vadim Zeland suggests. But still, something isn't quite landing. You've manifested small things here and there, parking spots, text messages, fleeting synchronicities. Yet deep down, you know that can't be all. You feel it in your bones. Manifestation should be so much more than this. They say your thoughts shape your reality. That's what everyone says, right? But here's what no one tells you. Your thoughts can only shape the world if they are strong. And for most people today, they're not. Why have your thoughts lost their power? Why has your co-creative ability, given by the Creator from the very beginning, become so deeply weakened? But first, let's look at what a human being is like when their creative power is fully intact. This video has 4 parts. 1. What a human being should look like. What it means to have your creative power intact and alive. 2. A remarkable woman named Anastasia, who seems to hold the key to restoring these lost powers and who she really is. 3. What, according to her, interferes with our co-creative power? Insights now supported by emerging science and deeply felt intuitively. 4. Anastasia's practical advice for reclaiming your creative strength and living in harmony with your true power. Part 1. The real human. Most people have forgotten, but once, long ago, humans could shape reality. Our ancestors healed with their hands. They spoke across distance without words. They moved energy, changed weather, even traveled without moving. These weren't myths or metaphors. They were natural expressions of a fully awakened human being. What if we've been conditioned to accept life as bio-robots as normal, while the true nature of being human, with all its natural powers, has been labeled as superpowers, reserved for a select few? What if what we consider extraordinary is actually the natural state, and what we call ordinary today is far from it? Across spiritual traditions, these gifts were known as siddhis, Padre Pio, seen in 2 places at once. Ramana Maharshi, answering questions before they were spoken. Tibetan monks, raising their body temperature while meditating on snow. Giri Bala, living without food or water, sustained by the force of life itself. In Autobiography of a Yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda recounts numerous examples of siddhis, materializing objects out of thin air, healing illnesses, extending life beyond normal limits. Even today, hints remain. Alex Honnold, scaling sheer cliffs without a rope, body, mind, and spirit in absolute harmony. Wim Hof, using breath to control his immune system, his methods now proven by science. So why can't most people access these abilities? Because your inner signal, the one you were born with, is constantly being jammed. Part 2. A Woman Who Remembers. There is a series of 10 books by Vladimir Megre that speaks directly to this remembrance. A story about a woman named Anastasia, whose abilities have not been lost. Anastasia creates instantly, shaping reality through the clarity of her thought. Clairvoyance comes naturally. She senses emotions and thoughts, sees the past and future. She observes distant events with her consciousness and can move her body instantly across space. Answers come without study, as if drawn from a deeper source. She radiates health and strength. Protected by the natural world she lives in and her inner presence, harm cannot touch her. When asked how she came to possess such gifts, she simply says, "Every human being is capable of what I can do, but you must live in the right environment." What is that environment? We'll explore it in Part 4. But first, let's look at the environment most of us live in today. Part 3. What's blocking us? Emerging science is confirming what many people feel deep down. We live in a world of concrete and noise. Your senses are overwhelmed. Your body is exhausted. Your mind, constantly bombarded with artificial images of what life is supposed to be. We are surrounded by invisible interference, artificial light that scrambles your natural rhythms, electromagnetic noise clouding your thoughts, processed foods, synthetic scents, unnatural fabrics, screens, stress, constant distraction. Regulators may label them safe, but research suggests that over time, they affect sleep, memory, focus, mood, your whole being. And on top of that is the mental noise. Advertisements telling you you're not enough, news flooding you with anxiety, entertainment offering fake escape from real life, even seemingly harmless things, celebrity gossip, sports rivalries, binge-worthy shows, are part of a system engineered to capture your attention. When I began to see this clearly, something inside me collapsed. Everything I had believed in fell away. The systems, the values, the way we live, none of it felt real anymore. In the pain of that realization, I started searching. I longed for a way of living that made sense until the overwhelm hit. At first, self-sustainability, permaculture, regenerative farming, and off-grid living felt like the answer. Suddenly, I was trying to return to nature without any foundation. I had never gardened. I was standing in the dirt with Google in one hand, trying to figure it out. And I wasn't alone. So many of us grew up in cities, in apartments, surrounded by noise and convenience. Trying to learn it all at once can break you. Inside, a tension kept building. I thought I knew why I was doing it. I wanted to live in harmony with the earth. I wanted a different life. But something felt off. It was like I had removed one veil, only to find another. And then I realized I was doing it all from fear. Fear of collapse. Fear of what's coming. Fear of what's already been lost. Even my love for nature had become tangled with resentment at the system, at the world, at myself. Part 4. The Way Back. That's when I found the perspective of Anastasia, a woman who lives in the untouched Siberian taiga. Her words, shared in the Ringing Cedars of Russia books, reach somewhere deeper. She wasn't speaking from fear. She wasn't resisting the world. Anastasia lives without tools, machines, or electricity. She doesn't teach survival. She reminds us what it means to live. She teaches that when a person lives in harmony with nature and thought, their true potential awakens. What we call miracles, telepathy, healing, vision, communication with animals, are simply natural abilities waiting to return, and she teaches how to restore that wholeness. A space of love. Anastasia teaches that every person is meant to create a living, breathing space of love, a 1-hectare family domain where everything exists in harmony with you and for you. Not to escape the world, not to hide, not out of fear, but to remember. Here are some of her most powerful yet simple pieces of guidance. The living fence. On 1 hectare of land, where the climate and soil feel right to you, plant a living fence, a border made of trees and shrubs that will one day surround your whole space. This isn't just a barrier, it protects your land. but it also becomes part of it, a home for birds, bees, and other small creatures, a source of food, medicine, and beauty. And over time, it forms a natural wall, dense, alive, and full of meaning. Start with fast-growing trees like birch and maple to give quick shelter. Between them, plant thorny bushes to keep animals out, fruiting plants to feed your family, and flowering shrubs to lift the spirit. Sacred planting ritual. Every seed holds unseen forces of life. Planted with intention, it can produce food uniquely attuned to your body. According to Anastasia, a seed becomes attuned to you when you hold it in your mouth, under your tongue, for 9 minutes. Then place it between your palms for 30 seconds while standing barefoot on the soil where it will grow. Gently blow on it to warm it with your breath. Lift it toward the sky for 30 seconds. Then plant it, but don't water it right away. Wait 3 days. Through this, the plant reads your needs. When you eat its fruits, fresh, within 3 days, they can restore balance, sharpen the mind, heal, even slow aging. The cedar tree. Even the smallest part of a cedar tree contains more life energy than all man-made power sources. Get a cedar pendant for yourself. Within a few months, you may begin to feel lighter, healthier, but that's only the beginning. The deeper change happens in the heart. Kindness begins to grow. Talents awaken. The spirit becomes clearer, more attuned. And 2 cedar trees, planted beside your garden, can nourish a family for generations. Each tree can produce up to a ton of seeds every second year. From these seeds, you can make cedar oil, cedar milk, and cedar flour. Anastasia speaks of sacred conception, of raising children in the space of love you create for yourself, of the third energy, the one that creates worlds. She reminds us what we've been taught is normal is not natural, and what we call supernatural is simply what it means to be whole. Anastasia shares far more than this video can hold. I went through all 10 books many times, pulling out the most essential insights and practical advice. I turned my notes into a book, a simple guide to her teachings, organized by theme, with reflective questions after each chapter. If you want to begin building your space of love, you can find the book on Amazon. Link in the description.